My name is Chrissy Hodges, and I am an obsessive compulsive disorder advocate, as well as an advocate for mental health and stigma reduction of mental illness. I'm just going to go live really quick every single day this week to just give you some takes on OCD awareness, and what this week is all about. So I wrote a blog to go along with this, and I'll post it on Facebook a little bit later. And I'm just being honest, when these weeks come up, I get really nervous and really insecure because I think to myself, I advocate all the time for OCD, and then I feel like when weeks like this come, like all this pressure is on me, and I feel really insecure and really scared. Like, what if I don't do anything great enough? Oh, there's the what if. You all know about that if you know about OCD. So I did decide that I'd do these short little videos and a short blog every day this week in order to do my part to bring awareness to what OCD is and what OCD isn't. Now, most of you know what OCD is, and when I'm doing any sort of speech or anything, I always say, I bet you know it as the hand washing and organizing disorder, and then I like to show people my socks because typically they don't match. So it isn't just about that. And then I try to explain to them that it's so much more complex and it's so complicated, and the type of violent and sexual intrusive thoughts, which is sometimes referred to as pure O, P-U-R-E, or taboo thoughts, OCD, and it is so debilitating and so scary and so shameful. And that's what I'm going to focus on this week is awareness around that type of OCD, but I'm also going to focus around the emotional part of having OCD. What I wrote today in the blog is this. A lot of people see OCD as this funny, quirky physical disorder that sometimes they wish that they had so they'd be more organized. And we really overlook the emotional piece that goes along with having OCD. This is the most detrimental part about having mental illness, I feel like, and it really holds people back from being in recovery. What this is it's the shame piece, it's the embarrassment piece, it's the, is anyone ever going to love me even though I have a mental illness? Is anyone ever going to hire me? Am I going to have a normal life? Can I be successful? Do I deserve a good life? Am I worthy of a good life? These are pretty huge things that just hang over us when we are living with a mental illness. And they're not talked about a lot. A lot of times you go and get therapy and they aren't addressed. These huge issues that weigh us down, that sometimes are even just as detrimental as the symptoms themselves. So these are some of the things I'm going to address this week. Some of those shame components, but I can only really address it through my own lived experience, so it is going to be a little bit more related to my type of OCD, but hopefully whatever you go through, whether it's OCD, whether it's depression, anxiety, any sort of disorder, whether it's trauma that you're working through in your life, whether it's a physical illness, whether it's anything, hopefully what I will have to say this week you can resonate with, because suffering is suffering. Trauma is trauma. No one person, has it worse, or has it worse when it comes to suffering, because all suffering is hard to deal with. It's hard to process, and it's hard with something so huge. So, why awareness is so important to me for any sort of disorder like this? The big thing is it makes us feel less alone. When I was diagnosed and treated and then, scooted back out into the world, like, yay, you're cured. I mean, I wasn't cured, but, oh, look, this is all good now. Go have a great life. Oh man, that was not the end of it for me. It was very much an emotional journey to recovery then. And I spent 14 years in that space of loneliness and anger and shame about having sexual intrusive thoughts and misery. And so what I focus on typically in peer support and coaching, if that's what I'm doing for OCD, and just in general, is all of that stigma that we have to deal with. And, people may say, oh, it's not that big of a deal, get over it. But y'all know, I know, y'all know how much of an impact it has. And it can just be so deep-seated. My focus of awareness and why it's important, I want you to know you're not alone. And you know what? Selfishly, I want to know you're not alone, so I don't know that I'm alone. I mean, I'm just being honest. None of us want to think that we're going through this much and that that's all that there is. When I know that I can call on any of you and say, this is what I'm going through, even if you don't understand it, and you can say, I'm here for you, I'm going to have empathy. That is something that we can hold on to. And that's something that we can work toward and really feel hopeful about. So, thank you for joining in, or if you're watching this later, thank you. I hope that you'll join in the rest of the week, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize. Yeah, it's probably going to say Christy's going live on your notification, so don't hate on me. Just know if you want to tune in, great. If you don't want to tune in, it's okay, but I'll try to make them really short and sweet. Whatever you're going through, whether it be OCD or anything, just know there's so many people out there that are having the same. You're not alone, and it's okay to reach out for help. So happy OCD Awareness Week. Woohoo! I will be back on tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. I'll just make it like a surprise. See, there again, I don't have organizational OCD. Anyway, I'll link to my blog if you're more of a reader than an actual video person. And I really appreciate all of the support that I've gotten over the years. And I hope that I've given anything back that, to you of all the things that you've given to me. So let's do our best this week to talk about OCD the way it really is and not something we can brag about, because nobody who really has OCD will ever brag about it. But just to make sure people know what this disorder is, what this disorder isn't, and that there's so many of us out there that understand it and are willing to help you get closer to recovery. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for being here. I just love y'all, and I will see you sometime tomorrow. Bye.